To the women who cook, we raise a glass to you as we learn more about women breaking into the hospitality industry. To the women who rise through life's challenges, a powerful message from a local author and aerospace engineer. To the women who feed their family from their garden, tips on what to do this spring for a successful crop. Colorado & Company starts right now.
Portions of Colorado & Company contain paid content.
Good friends, gonna get you through the day. Good friends.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Colorado & Company. So March is Women's History Month. Yes, it's a time to celebrate the strength, the resilience, and the leadership of women past and present. Today, we're talking about the power of perseverance and choosing to rise, even when life throws obstacles our way. And if you guys know me, you know I'm going through a kind of episode, so this is very important. I am joined by local author Meghan S. Buchanan. Thank you so much for being here, Meghan.
Thank you for having me.
Aerospace engineer, too.
The day job, yes.
Good Lord. Okay, let's start first off with your new book. It's called Grit with 2 G's. I'm holding it here. Choose to Rise. And it's all about finding the grit within yourself to move forward and grow stronger. And I'm literally in the middle of trying to do that. So your book could not come at a better time. Tell us a little bit about your background that got you here.
Well, I'm a middle kid with a learning disability, so it's never good enough for myself.
I can pay you immediately. I know exactly.
Exactly.
Got it.
But seriously, though, I actually, unfortunately, was emotionally and verbally abused by my second grade teacher because I couldn't spell. And to the point where I grew up in a very cerebral house and I shut down, completely shut down. Yeah, where my mother was like, what is happening? Wow. And so she took me to doctors, and at that time, there wasn't a lot known about dyslexia, but they're like, we're so sorry, your child's dyslexic, she won't achieve much academically. And my mom said to me, sweetheart, you can be anything you want to be. You are just going to have to work harder than everybody else, and that starts today in this house. And that's all I knew. And so this whole principle of grit started early. You worked hard, you failed a lot, you cried a lot, and you got back up.
Yeah.
And so through life's challenges, and look, this is something that connects every human on this earth. We all have obstacles, and we all feel the pain and discomfort and vulnerability from it. Some obstacles are much harder than others, but we still feel the same way about it. So it was just that principle of you've got to take ownership of it and learn to move through it.
Yeah, it's bootstraps time.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so this word grit gets it's used a lot. And I do know, I've studied this, that grit is sort of the common denominator for those that can do well. It's not your intelligence, but grit that can make you work.
Yeah.
But you spell it G-G-R-I-T. Tell us why.
Well, first, I think it's funny because I'm dyslexic. I kind of had to do that. I mean, why not?
That's good.
And, you know, so looking back, trying to go back to my origin story of how was I able to push through a lot of these things, it came down to these 5 principles that I've always strived to embody, which is gratitude, growth, resilience, integrity, and tenacity.
Oh, wow.
And it's through those tools I have been able to achieve extraordinary things by doing that grit cycle over and over and over again through life.
Unbelievable.
And it is through those experiences and the failures and the pain that is what builds your grit and the ability to take it on the next day.
Unbelievable. Those are some good values right there. Your message about resilience it's so appropriate during Women's History Month when we celebrate women who are paving the way. Of course, you're not only an author, but you're also, as I said, an aerospace engineer and an adventure athlete. No big deal. Well, let me ask you this. How can women stay resilient without burning themselves out?
You don't.
Okay, so you're going to burn yourself out.
There's no way.
Okay.
The way that you actually increase your resilience and build your resilience is by breaking, by bending, by burning out, and then choosing to get back up every time.
I see.
Choosing to rise. That is the power of resilience. Because if something knocks you down and you just stay down, then you're done. So every moment, especially as women, we are faced with challenges all day long, especially in male-dominated fields. Aerospace and engineering and mountaineering, I'm faced with it a lot. It's by choosing to get back up every time. And you get so used to it that now whenever a challenge comes, I'm just like, all right, this may hurt, but we're doing it.
It's habitual now.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I know I'm
yeah.
going to fail. I know I'm going to stumble, but I'm going to get through
Really
this.
do that. This is incredible. What if you could? If everybody could learn one skill, really, it would be this one. I do want to talk about you as an adventure athlete. You have summited Mount Everest.
Yes.
What have I done? I had like some Ensure this morning. You're chasing the Explorer's Grand Slam. Is that a tennis thing? What is that?
It's at Denny's. No, I'm kidding. So it actually, I'm chasing immediately the Explorers and then the Adventurers Grand Slam. So what it is it's the 7 summits. So the highest peak on every continent, which I'm one of the few women to have accomplished both versions of the 7 summits.
My God.
And then it is, the Explorers Grand Slam is a last degree ski to the North and South Pole. So it's self-supported. I'm my own dog sled. You pull your sled behind you. The Adventurers Grand Slam is a full ski, a Nordic ski, pull your sled from a coastline. So I'm going actually this November, December to do the full South Pole. I've already done the last degree for the South Pole.
Of course, you've already done, yeah.
But it'll take me 2 months.
Oh my
And so then I will have left the North Pole, and I'll be the first U.S. woman to complete the Adventurers Grand Slam.
Dude, unbelievable. I couldn't even high five.
I know, let's redo it.
She's
Yes, there we
climbing
go.
Mount Everest. I'm like, hello. That is unbelievable. And what grit. You're like Ernest Shackleton over here. Okay, thank you so much for joining us today, Meghan. I'm so inspired. If you are looking for inspiration like I am this Women's History Month, grit with 2 G's, Choose to Rise. It's available now on Amazon. And literally buy it, put it on your end table and be like, you know what? I have the grit to read this. So grab a copy at grit.com, again with 2 G's. I want to thank you, Meghan, for inspiring me. I really need this book. So I'm going to have you sign it and take this home. Okay, thank you so much. Not ready to be done celebrating the luck of the Irish? That was horrific. Good thing, because we're headed to Ireland with Gabe Saglier. That's tomorrow on Coco. But we still have a couple weeks to celebrate Women's History Month. So we want to take the next few minutes to highlight some incredible women in our community. You know her from the kitchen and her amazing restaurants, but today Chef Mary is taking off the apron and sharing more of her story. Check this out. Okay, so Chef Mary, I've always wanted to ask you this. Take us back to the beginning. Did you always want to be in the hospitality industry? Always? Or is this, tell us to the beginning. Take us back.
Well, in the beginning, actually, I worked in finance. I used to be an investment banker and I used to trade commodities.
I kind of can't believe that. That's insane.
Yeah, and one day I just realized that I wanted to make more impact, and it's funny because now, 20 years later, I look back and I think about what kind of connection I had with food, and it was really back to when I was young. My parents worked all the time, but the only times we were together was around the dinner table.
So that was family time.
That was family time. And food to me, I think, food is my love language. You know me now, and you know that food is my love language.
Which I love.
And so that's just how I take care of people. That's how I present to the world. And it was something that was so important to me that it's about also creating community.
Yes.
And making people happy.
Breaking bread.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I think I present to the world as someone who eats your food. That's what happens to me. Okay. I do want to ask you about joining the hospitality industry as a female. It is not particularly easy. Tell me how that went.
No, it wasn't. And I chose an industry within hospitality that was really, really hard. So I became the first female executive sushi chef in the country. So when I opened my first restaurant in 2005, I left as the only female executive sushi chef in the country. And it's interesting because that is an industry that
is very male dominated.
Is very male dominated. And there are myths within Japanese culture that prevent women from making sushi. So, and if you go to a sushi restaurant now, even 2026, you will rarely ever see a woman.
True. That's true.
Making your sushi. And there's a lot of myths, and we can talk about that at depth, over drinks one day. But it was really, really challenging. It was challenging to be in that kind of environment, working with very traditional men who were trained up to believe that I am not supposed to be working with them.
So the energy around them to you was a lot.
Absolutely. And then when it got to a point where I was their boss.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
It was even worse. But, I persevered and just really made sure that I showed up every day and I was better than everyone else.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You're so good. Okay, moving to present day. What are some things you do now to support women going forward?
Well, you know, I think back to all the things that I did and what I experienced when I came into this industry, because I wasn't even, like, I'm not a trained chef. I learned on the job.
Is that right?
You know, and so just even having just the biases, because I didn't have the education background, and then also being a woman. So today, you know, we have a lot of different locations. We have a lot of employees. I always give people the benefit of the doubt, right? If they want to do something, I always believe in them first.
Wow.
But I also want to make sure that we give opportunities to women.
Yeah.
You know, we really do different programs to mentor them and give them opportunities to move up into different parts of ownership as well as leadership.
Smart, very, very smart. Who inspired you? In, you know, Women's History Month, I like to go back and think, what women inspired me? What women inspired you? Because sometimes it's good to have a hold on someone and you say, I can do it, they did it.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I don't think that anyone ever really inspired or mentored me to be who I am today. What inspires me today is showing up every day for my daughters.
Oh, wow.
You know, and being that example for them, to show them that you can do hard things, right? And you can do really hard things, and you can, as long as you just make a commitment and you believe in yourself. Because if you're going to do anything, you know, if you're going to bet on anyone, bet on yourself. Yeah.
I'm trying, Chef Mary, I'm trying.
Oh, well, you have to. I'd bet on you.
I know, you're so sweet. Okay, finally, what is the best piece of advice you would give looking out to a viewer who's like, man, she had a goal and followed through? We all have goals. It's the rare thing is to follow through. So what piece of advice would you give?
Well, and I think especially for women, because I think that women are very, you know, potentially risk averse, and they like to make sure that everything is, you know, outlined, and you know, they've got goals and they've got measures. And I think the challenge is that you can't wait until everything is lined up.
That's right.
And you can't wait until it's the perfect time, because it's never going to be the perfect time. And I think what I would love to say is that you are where you're supposed to be, you know? Exactly.
That's a beautiful piece of advice. Sometimes the action gets the motivation going, not the other way around.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. You are incredible, so thank you so much. And I can't wait to eat a lot more of your food. You can connect with Chef Mary by following her on social media. Her handle is @ChefMaryNguyen. Or, of course, like I do, you can stop by any Olive and Finch, which she created. They have 5 locations in Denver. Learn more at oliveandfinch.com. Grab your leash, the Furry Scurry is back. And Lulu is here with Humane Colorado to tell us all about it. Woof, woof, Lulu. Woof, woof, yeah.
The following interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.
Nothing brings people together quite like our love for animals. And as you know, I'm one of them. One of our Denver's most beloved events is back to celebrate just that. It's the 33rd annual Furry Scurry. It's right around the corner, and we are very proud to be media partners right here at 9 News. Joining us now is Demi. Is it Demi or Demi? It's like Demi Moore.
It's Demi.
It's
not
Demi.
as fancy.
I love it. I love it. Who is the philanthropy officer with Humane Colorado. Come here, boo-boo. And I think you guys might know this. She is a familiar face. Our loyal viewers might recognize her. This is Lulu. Hi, sweet girl. Hi, Lulu. She's like a little Newfoundland-ish.
Yeah, I
Yes?
believe so. Yeah,
Yeah.
She's a little bit of a mix.
You're a
but
little bit of a
mostly.
mix. I love it. All right. So let's say someone's new to Colorado or they've been hiding under a rock. What is the Furry Scurry, and why has it been such a staple in Denver for 33 years?
Yeah, so as someone who is actually new to Colorado, it's a really exciting event. The more you learn about it, the more exciting it is. Even the dogs can't handle it, you know.
Of course.
But it's one of Humane Colorado's largest events that we host every single year. We have a It's going to be taking place Saturday, May 2nd at Wash Park.
Oh, love
it's a 2-mile dog walk. We're going to have a flea-less market that's going to have dog-friendly vendors.
Flea-less.
Right, a little fun play on the play on the
market.
words. And then we're also going to have all those vendors, food trucks, games, competitions, music. It's just a really great place for the community to come together, and I think that's why so many people have enjoyed it for 33 years.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it's a long time.
Long time.
Okay, so what makes the event so special? It's not just for pet owners, but for the whole community. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about Humane Colorado, we've been around 115 years, almost 116 years. And it's just an incredible place. Thousands of community members come together along with their pets just to connect with one another and to support an incredible cause that, you know, Humane Colorado has had a phenomenal mission of trying to end pet homelessness and animal suffering. So it's really great to see the community come together for that.
Unbelievable. I foster dogs with a pup in a way, so this is something very dear to my heart. The event is a lot of fun, but it also supports a really important work. So how does the Furry Scurry support how does it help support with the stuff that it raises?
Yeah, absolutely. So Lulu, who's trying to go off script right now. It's really incredible that the work that we do, when you look at the average cost of taking care of an animal through our shelter, it costs about $950 per animal.
Wow.
And then $9,000 for horses to take care of them throughout their journey. At Humane Colorado in our Harmony Equine Center. Wow. And every registration fee that we have goes directly to caring for those animals. And we don't receive any government funding.
None.
So all of the funding that we get comes from the local community to care for the animals.
That's because in Colorado, we love our doggies. And our cats, we should say that.
Oh,
and
yes.
our horses, of course. We do have to talk about Lulu. Okay, our viewers have seen her on the show before. Tell us about Lulu, how she became a familiar face, sort of an ambassador dog.
Yes, so Lulu was actually one of the adoptable dogs that we had at Furry Scurry 2 years ago. And shortly after Furry Scurry, she was very lucky to go home with one of our employees at Humane Colorado.
Oh my God.
And just last year.
Is that her? That's she right there on the screen?
I believe so.
Look at that.
She actually got to go back last year, now that she's an official ambassador of Furry Scurry.
Of course.
And she was reunited with her brother, who was also at Furry Scurry and got adopted as well.
No way.
Yeah.
She was raised on Coco. This is what I love. We'd love to see you grow and get adopted. If people are watching and they want to say, I want to be part of this, how do we sign up?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's super easy. You just go to furryscurry.org if you want to register or if you want to volunteer at the event as well. And if you can't go online, you can always register in person on May 2nd at Wash Park.
You can just show up.
You can just show up.
Okay, this is huge. Let's say, like right now, I don't have a dog because I'm fostering so many. What if you don't? Can you still Furry Scurry?
Absolutely. You know, some dogs are social butterflies and some would rather stay home, but we want to encourage folks that we don't want you to miss out on that fun.
Yeah.
So we would encourage you to come dogless, and there will be plenty of dogs on site at Furry Scurry, so you'll definitely get your fill even if you come without one.
Oh, this one just fell. We got itchy ears. We all understand that. Let's say I want to adopt. Are there adoptable dogs also there?
There will be adoptable dogs at
like
Furry Scurry.
Lulu.
Like Lulu. Yeah.
And then tell me about the adoption process. Can you go into Humane and meet different dogs? Some places are like you have to fill out an adoption before you even meet the dog. Can you meet and greet with dogs and cats at Humane Colorado?
Yeah, so if you go to any one of our campuses or shelters, we have 3 different pet companion shelters that you can go in. Our main shelter is off of Quebec.
Okay.
You just go in and you can look at any of the available adoptable dogs, cats, or small mammals like guinea pigs.
Well, the guinea pigs need help too.
Absolutely. And you just work with our amazing pet adoptions team and they can help you find your forever friend.
Amazing. And they rescue you right back. And you can walk right in. There's no, unbelievable.
No
I love
appointment
you
needed.
guys. Unbelievable. Well, Demi and Lulu, you sound like a band. Demi and Lulu taking the stage. Thank you so much for being here today. Listen up, Colorado, the 33rd annual Furry Scurry. It's Saturday, May 2nd. Register now by going to humanecolorado.org. They sponsored today's segment. Lulu, you did so good. You did so good. Good baby. All right, when we return, the positive impact of indigenous foods and everything that's grown Colorado proud. Check it out after the break. metro area, you may not notice that Colorado is actually a leading agricultural state for National Agricultural Week. We wanted, I can't say that word, to spread the word about everything that's grown right here in Colorado. With me, we have Narissa Rivera, she's an Indigenous food activist and chief founder of Chi'il Indigenous Foods. Welcome, very good to have you.
Thank you.
We also have Barb Howe. She is the business development specialist for Colorado Proud. Thanks, Barb.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, Barb, I want to start with you. Share more about what Colorado Proud program is for people who don't know.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us here, and happy National Ag Week.
Yeah,
this is
it's Ag
fantastic.
Week.
Colorado Proud is a free marketing program that's directed towards our food and beverage manufacturers. And we're managed by the Colorado Department of Agriculture, and our mission is to connect consumers to local foods and beverages.
Brilliant. You do a beautiful job. That's amazing. Narissa, Chi'il Indigenous Foods is a Colorado Proud member. Why is that so important to you?
It's important to me because I want all my customers to know that this product, our food, our produce is from Colorado, and the label makes it easy to identify. You can see it, you can know that you're supporting local businesses.
You can be Colorado Proud about that. That's for dang sure. All right, Narissa, let's talk about the dishes you brought today, because we were talking off camera, and some of this is amazing. Some of the special ingredients you're using. Talk to me about what you brought.
Yes, one of our crops that we grow here in Colorado is the Four Corners potato. This potato is the only potato that's indigenous to North America.
Really?
Yes, and so my grandmother was the last in my lineage to have eaten the potato, and my mother didn't even know that it existed.
Really?
Yes, so that's how fast that these foodways can be lost through the generations.
I see.
But also we can bring them back. So I've done a lot of work to grow these potatoes.
How long does it take to grow? You said they took a long time.
Yeah, well, we had a small amount.
Yeah.
To be able to grow them, to turn them into a crop that we could feed people with, has taken us about 3 years.
Wow.
And we're still growing.
Still growing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But we do a lot of traditional varieties of squashes. Dryland farm our corn, wild harvest a lot of our ingredients.
Look at this blue corn. I
Yes.
love that.
All dryland farmed here in Colorado.
Unbelievable. What is this?
That one is a special Navajo tea.
Oh, wow.
It is a wild harvested. It loves the desertous region.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Some of these I've never even heard of. Barb, what kind of businesses can join Colorado Proud? As we look at the website, share more about the categories and if it's easy to join. How do they go about doing that?
Yeah, that's a great question, Tori. It is easy to join. You go to coloradoproud.com, click Become a Member. You'll be walked through an application process, and then we'll take it from there.
Oh, wow.
We have a variety of businesses, as you mentioned, the categories. We have farmers, we have ranchers, we have farmers markets, we have wineries, breweries, and just a variety, restaurants. And, you know, our goal is to really just be very inclusive.
Yes.
And I really just want to say thank you to Narissa for being here and for being a Colorado Proud member. Narissa and Chi'il are a great representation of Colorado's food culture. And we're honored that a grower and a chef would be a Colorado Proud member.
Look at you. She's proud of you. Aren't you happy?
Yes,
I love that.
I am.
No, Narissa, this is so interesting. Share more about indigenous dry land farming and what it is and how it strengthens native foodways. I don't even really know what that means, so
Okay,
tell me.
yeah. Our specialty is urban dryland farming. So we adapt indigenous dryland farming techniques to the urban setting. Basically, we're using or reducing our irrigated water usage. And if you're using native plants, you know, you don't have to use pesticides. There's a lot of benefit to that. But you know, these foods and our indigenous wisdom in agriculture has carried my people for thousands of years.
Unbelievable.
In harmony here, living here in harmony. And so I think there's a lot of solutions to the problems that we face today in indigenous wisdom. And so it's really about experiencing these things and making space for native voices and native foods and native culture.
And learning.
yeah.
Yeah, the knowledge is power here. Barb, what's the best way we can support the Colorado growers and producers? What can we do?
Well, look for the Colorado Proud logo wherever you're doing your shopping. And if you're not seeing the Colorado Proud logo, don't hesitate to reach out to your retailer and ask them to source more local products.
That's a great idea.
And if you are a Colorado food producer, beverage producer, and your product's made, raised, or produced here in the state of Colorado, go to coloradoproud.com, join,
Become
it's
a
easy,
member,
and it's free.
And it's free. And you get to be part of this community, which is so important. I'm fascinated by all this, and I'm very proud to live in Colorado and have all of this. Eat up National Agricultural Week and enjoy some Colorado Proud products. Look, of course, as Barb said, for the Colorado Proud sticker in your produce department and experience healthy deliciousness grown at home. And then if it's not there, use your voice. Go up and say, excuse me, where is it? So for more, go to coloradoproud.com. Thank you both for being here. It was lovely. Good learning. All of this Colorado weather has our gardens, well, they're a little confused. When Colorado and Company returns, we've got the experts here to help you out. My goodness, this really nice weather has me in the mood to get planting. Earlier, Erin Bird, the interim director of marketing at Denver Botanic Gardens, and Jennifer Miller, assistant manager of horticulture, stopped by with some tips to help make your garden flourish. I want to start off by addressing how dry this winter has been. I mean, we got rain like yesterday, and I did a rain dance outside. So should I be watering constantly right now to get it ready?
You never want to water constantly.
Okay, because that's my problem.
Yeah,
okay.
So generally we say water once or twice a month in winter, and you want to deep water.
Okay, what
So
does that mean?
That means you want water to just trickle in, go slowly into the soil.
Got it.
And generally we say with mature trees, it's 10 gallons per inch of diameter.
Oh, wow.
If it's a new tree, it's not yet established, we say 1 gallon to 1.5 gallons. But you also don't want to overwater.
I know.
So you got to be careful you don't get too worried and start, pouring water on your young trees. How you can determine whether you should water is you can go down about 6 to 12 inches into the soil.
Okay.
If it's hard, or when you try to hold it together, it crumbles, then that's a good sign that you need to water your trees.
Okay, for sure.
And that's an important thing. Make sure you're hydrated when you're
while
out
you do
there
it.
gardening.
Yeah, totally. Okay, Jenny, March is typically the snowiest month in Colorado, but it's also a really good time to garden. Why is that?
It's sort of counterintuitive. You think, oh, there's all the snow. When are you going to go out and garden? Well, typically we have these big snowfalls followed by fairly dry periods and snowfalls. So at the gardens, we're rushing out between these big events to garden. And why it's such a great time is that it's sort of an in-between time when sap is starting to rise, there's this momentum building, and you want to capitalize on that.
I see.
So if there's a shrub that you wanted to move last summer, and you knew you couldn't move it because it would be too stressed. Now, if it's still dormant, this is like prime time to move it.
Okay.
Because there's this energy building inside the shrub, and as soon as you move it over, if you do all the things you're supposed to, make a nice big hole, water it in, mulch it, then it's going to really settle in and take off.
Amazing.
And trees too, this is a great time to prune. You can still see the structure of the tree. And with the sap coming up, it's going to heal those wounds a lot faster.
Wow, this is all very human. Heal those, really. Okay, so whether you're a seasoned gardener, what should we be doing this month?
Cutting back some perennials.
So pruning,
So
okay.
the hardy perennials, anything that's growing at the base, you can cut down the stalks. If it's something like a scabiosa where you have living and dried things, what I do is I come in with the gloved hand and I vigorously go like this and all the dead drops off. It's just be really careful. We have some shallow-rooted plants like peonies and hellebores where their buds are coming right up at the base. So when you go in to snip the dead leaves, or you have to be really careful.
You're not cutting those off.
So you don't cut off the buds.
Yeah, okay, because that's important. You can also get inspiration from walking around the gardens this spring. Get tickets now at botanicgardens.org. It's a Good Friends Friday on Colorado and Company, and we've got folk duo Woven Hollow here. It's going to be a fun time. That's tomorrow on Coco.
You'll be fine. You've retreated, got things to fall back on, but don't leave it.
The following interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.
I have loved Clearly Canadian since I was a tot. Clearly Canadian flavored sparkling water has this distinct, bold taste made with award-winning Canadian spring water and natural ingredients. Kelly had the chance to chat with VP of Marketing, Casey Howe.
Clearly Canadian is a classic brand, and I'm so excited because it's very nostalgic for me. Casey, your brand is having a huge comeback. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, sure, Kelly. We're absolutely having a comeback. Clearly Canadian is the iconic original flavored sparkling water brand. We were born way back in '87, became a fan-loved brand all throughout the '90s, featured on shows like Friends, Seinfeld, Sex and the City. And we lost distribution for a bit. We came back actually due to the love of our fans. So we came back in 2017 to mass distribution, and we're absolutely having a comeback now.
I am so excited you are back, especially because people are loving bubbles right now. So what makes Clearly Canadian so unique?
I love that you asked that question. What really makes Clearly Canadian so unique is our water. We're only sourced from natural Canadian springs, rich in naturally occurring hydrating minerals. So our water is really what makes us so unique and special. And to our water, we only add natural fruit flavors to give it that bold, true-to-fruit flavor and experience that our fans love with clean, simple ingredients.
Okay, now we have to talk about the flavors. I've got my favorite flavor here. It's the Mountain Blackberry. Like I said before, it is so nostalgic when I taste this, but tell me about all the other flavors.
Absolutely. So we have our Mountain Blackberry that you know and love. We also have Wild Cherry, Orchard Peach, Country Raspberry. We have a Summer Strawberry, and we have a new Sunset Orange that's coming out soon as well.
Ooh, that's exciting. Okay, let's talk about what's new for Clearly Canadian since y'all are back on the market now.
Absolutely. So we're known obviously for our iconic blue glass bottle, which we have in full distribution at King Soopers, Kroger, Albertsons Safeway, Walmart. We also have our new cans. So we have 6-pack cans and single cans available. So it's perfect for on the go, anywhere that glass breakage is an issue. They're perfect for those occasions. And then we also have a new zero sugar coming to the market soon. And then for new flavors as well, as I mentioned, we have our Sunset Orange, which is the newest flavor in our Originals core lineup.
Ooh, that's great. Okay, let's talk a little more about the mineral water. Can you tell me about that?
Absolutely. So Clearly Canadian is bottled from source from natural Canadian springs. And those springs are actually protected. We have a double layer aquifer where the water filters through the ground, through clay, sand, gravel, all the way down to bedrock to a double layer aquifer. And as it filters through, it actually picks up naturally occurring minerals. They're the hydrating minerals that you know. So calcium, potassium, magnesium, very low on sodium. So that's really what makes us so unique, because it's really the water that gives us that taste and that perfect balance of minerality that consumers and fans love.
Right, that's incredible. Okay, Casey, I've got a hard hitter for you. It's gonna be tough, but you have to tell me your favorite flavor.
Well, similar to you, my favorite flavor when I was growing up as a kid was definitely the Mountain Blackberry. You can't go wrong with it, but it's hard for me to choose because I love them all. And we have great flavors. So whether you like our Wild Cherry, Country Raspberry, Orchard Peach, the new Sunset Orange, our Summer Strawberry, you can't go wrong with Clearly Canadian.
You were talking about the mineral water that makes Clearly Canadian so unique, but I heard you might have one coming to the market soon. Tell me about that.
We do, absolutely. We have our unflavored sparkling spring water and mineral water. And we also have a new still water as well that's coming to the market soon.
All right, Casey, let's open this up.
Great.
Got our bubbles going. There we go. Let's cheers. Cheers to Clearly Canadian being back. I am so excited. Let's take a little sip.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh, it's so nostalgic. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us today, Casey. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Cheers from Canada.
Cheers.
I love Canada. Look for the iconic blue glass bottle or 6-pack cans of Clearly Canadian in King Soopers now. King Soopers is your home for optimum wellness. This segment sponsored by Clearly Canadian.
We are here at the gorgeous Eldora Mountain Ski Resort, and we're here for Origin's new pet product line, and he's already ready to get on his new adventure because this new line, Fresh Prey, is all about taking our dogs on the way. I am here at Eldora Mountain Ski Resort with Mark Fannin. He is the Global VP of Marketing for Origin Pet Food. This is a very cool event you guys are putting on. Tell me all about it and why your pet food is the most adventurous for our dogs.
Absolutely. We're here to celebrate our latest launch and innovation called Fresh Prey, which is the new entrant into the fresh pet space. And we're here to sample with the local community because we are a local business.
I love that. Tell me a little bit more about you being a local business, being here in Colorado. Why is that important to you guys?
It's so important. We're actually based out of Louisville, our corporate headquarters globally. And it is so important for our brand because we aspire to have the ideals of local Coloradans.
Right.
We seek adventures. We love the outdoors. And our food is all centered around how we enable that with our furry friends and our companions.
Right. We want to take our dogs with us on our
Absolutely,
adventures,
we
right?
do, yes.
Okay, let's talk a little more about this new line, this Fresh Prey. Tell me all about it.
So Fresh Prey, there's 6 recipes. What
Okay.
makes us so special is that we take absolute care to make the most biologically appropriate recipes.
Okay.
And it's all rooted in the first 5 ingredients, which always come from fresh or raw animal ingredients that help fuel your adventures.
Okay. I heard you guys did a very cool unboxing
we
campaign.
did, yes.
Can you tell me a little more about
Yes,
that?
absolutely. So we wanted to go beyond, go above and beyond through our recipes, and we thought, what a way to launch a product. So we summited to 12,000 feet just outside of Telluride to reveal our product.
So instead of sending an unboxing kit to an influencer, we sent an influencer to our unboxing kit at 12,000 feet.
This is the world's most extreme unboxing.
In a world of AI, in a world of social media, and everybody's coming at you with content, we thought it would be best if we put our money where our mouth is, and we worked with a local production company that has guides and safety specialists, and we summited it up to Red Mountain at 12,000 feet to make it real, to demonstrate to the community that we are the real deal.
Wow, I love it. It's adventure. We're bringing our dogs with us. Okay, Mark, let's talk a little bit more about Origin. There are so many pet foods on the market, fresh pet foods, and it's overwhelming for the consumer. What makes Origin and specifically Fresh Prey so different?
Right? Fresh Prey is so different because it comes down to how we source our ingredients. Every ingredient within Fresh Prey is human grade, and it is slow simmered in a sous vide style to trap in the ultimate expression of nutrition for your pet.
That's great. And so do I just take it out of the freezer? How does it work?
Take it out of the freezer, let it thaw, serve it, mix it in a bowl, however your pet seems best to be served.
I love that. Dolly Parton, my dog, she's a Bernedoodle. I have a picture of a Bernedoodle on my shirt. She is a little bit lazy, so she's not the most adventurous dog. Would this still be good for her though?
Absolutely. Every dog is an Origin dog, whether you are on the couch, snuggle time with the movies, or you're here at local Eldora. Like every pet is in our scope for recipes.
I love that. Good food for the good pet, right?
Good food for a great pet, absolutely.
I love that. Okay, Mark, I know our viewers want to get their hands on the most innovative pet food on the market, Origin Fresh Prey. How can we get it?
Absolutely. You can go to your local Petco through the month of March. We're exclusively distributed through 1,000 doors for the next 30 days.
Wow.
And then we roll out to Chewy.com in case you're an e-commerce shopper. And then if you have any more questions, more comments, or just want to know more about the product, visit Origin.com and visit our social handles on Instagram and Facebook.
I'll be there.
Origin redefines fresh pet food with Fresh Prey. It's a new line featuring peak whole prey nutrition. Fresh Prey is available exclusively at Petco, and it's coming soon to my favorite, Chewy.com and other retailers. So follow online at originpetfoods.com and on socials at Origin Pet Food.
The following interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.
Shen Yun will return to Colorado at 2 venues, the Pikes Peak Center for Performing Arts and the Buell Theater. It's April 3rd through the 12th. Court Pierman is here with more about how the celebration of traditional Chinese dance is mesmerizing audiences across the country. Okay, Court, first of all, is this true that the show cannot be shown in China?
Yeah, the world's greatest Chinese show cannot be shown in China.
Is that right?
It is because the communists just have such strict restrictions on art. And so actually Shen Yun started in 2006 in New York City. We got the best artists outside of China and got them to make the greatest show on the earth, if you're asking me.
Of course, and they are missing out. That's incredible. They censor that.
Yeah,
Unbelievable. Okay, share a bit of the history of classical Chinese dance.
Well, you know, at 5,000 years old,
which is how old I am. No.
Yeah, China is the world's oldest living culture, and so. You know, it has lots of different regions in there. It's got Mongolia and Tibet, and then, you know, the East Coast that we're all familiar with. Yeah. And each one has its own art and music, and so Shenyun draws from all that.
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, it's really amazing, and there's something there for everybody.
Oldest living culture. I did not know that either. Learning new things all the time. You say that when Shenyun performance it's uplifting to the human spirit, and so many of us need that right now. How does it do that?
Well, you know, it all starts with the music. And so it's got a live pit orchestra. So, you know, there's more than 60 different musicians down in there, and they're all the ones you're familiar with, like the clarinet and the fiddle and everything, but then they'll have Chinese instruments mixed in, and not just like as a feature, but they've been doing this for over 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
And so they're really good at what they do. They've won lots of awards, and so you'll have the pipa and the erhu, and every year, people, I'm not lying because I'm there every year, people cry.
I would imagine.
Yeah, they do every year.
It's very emotional. I mean, it moves people. You were saying off camera to me before what it means, Shenyun. Can you tell us again?
It means the beauty of divine beings dancing. I know it's only 2 characters, but they shove a lot, isn't it? It's gorgeous.
The beauty of divine beings dancing.
And you'll really understand it if you go to the show.
Yes, right. That comes to life when you see it.
Yeah, you know, like you'll see, you know, just for instance, heavenly fairies that come out of mist, like the whole stage will be covered in mist and they'll pop right up out of it.
Wow.
And yeah, it's really mind-blowing. Like every year I'm surprised.
I bet kids would love it too.
Oh, they do. They do. There's something for everybody.
Okay, so what do you want? Let's say you're like, my personal take is I want people to walk away knowing blank or feeling blank. What is that feeling for you personally?
Well, I think I'd like everybody to walk away just really loving China in all of its different incarnations. And even the China of today that's going through a lot of tribulations, they need our love. They need us to recognize what's happening there. And some of the, you know, the stories that you'll see are actually forbidden stories inside China. That's why they can't be shown there. They'll have, you know, things of like lovers who are separated under, you know, the present political circumstances inside China.
Little Romeo and Juliet.
Little Romeo and Juliet stuff going on.
Right.
My personal favorite stuff, though, is actually the fantasy and the lore. And every year it changes because every year Shenyun has different performances. So last year they had one where it was 2 lovers and, you know, the gods didn't want them to get together. It was and he wound up jumping into the ocean and falling down to the bottom of the ocean, like further and further. And when he came back up, they had a whole bridge made out of magpie birds that they came out on. It was amazing. It was such a spectacle. I couldn't believe that story. I'd heard it told kind of in print, but to see it
is amazing. Else. The word awesome is overused, but that would have been just an
awesome. Really,
I mean, that's really inspiring.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Yes. Well, we are so lucky that we get to see this. Shenyun will return to Colorado at 2 venues, as I said, the Pikes Peak Center, for Performing Arts, and the Buell Theater, April 3rd through April 12th. For tickets, information, go to shenyun.com/CO for Colorado, of course. And right now, I have 2 pairs of tickets to give away. We want you to send an email to mycoco@9news.com and put the word dance in the subject line. I wish we could put the whole thing, like the divine beings dancing. 2 winners will be selected at random and contacted later today. This segment was sponsored by Shenyun Performing Arts. Thank you so much, Court. That was amazing.
Oh, yeah, it was great to be here again.
Absolutely. That sounds so cool for the whole family. Well, thank you for your company, Colorado. Portions of today's program were sponsored by the businesses listed on your screen. Tomorrow on Colorado and Company, we're mixing up some drinks in the Cocoa Lounge with Great Divide. We're going to see you there, good friends. And remember, everyone you encounter is facing an uphill battle that you know nothing about. So be kind, be patient, be gentle, and then apply that right back to yourself. You know I'm trying to do the exact same thing. Thank you all for spending your time with me. We will see you next time. And as always, my dress doesn't let me do it, but bye! I'm like stuck.